hexabromocyclododecane and peanut butter. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. What is that? HBCD, and said in the same sentence with peanut butter. Glad you could tune in today. I'll tell you exactly what HBCD is and why I associate it with peanut butter. Hope you're having a good day, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. Maybe you're eating peanut butter. Better check that peanut butter. Yesterday on the show, I devoted the entire show, believe it or not, you know, like Ripley's. We belong in the museum. To, are you ready? Rice. Now, everybody gets all in a twist about, oh, you know, is it the brown rice that's better or the white rice? You know what? That's the least of our worries when it comes to rice. As I reported yesterday, we did 2 hours on this. And when you talk about rice and arsenic and you put those, when they appear in the same sentence, you know that there's trouble. Arsenic. And Dr. Michael Greger wrote a series, about 10 articles, maybe 12, at least 10 that I counted, on this very issue. And my producer was pretty surprised because we got a lot of response. I know he looked at me odd. He was polite when I said, we're going to do a show on rice today. And he's thinking, I guess we're going Asian or something. I don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah, that was the look I gave you, odd.
I said, we're going to do a show on rice today. And he was kept busy the entire show with people messaging us on Facebook, on social media. And we had callers, too. The food chain is profoundly contaminated. Now, the study that I'm referring to regarding hexabromocyclododecane, HBCD, was done a while back, but it helps make the point. It turns out that peanut butter, which is a fatty food, of course, lots of fat in peanut butter, and other fatty foods are laced with fire retardant. And if you go to the environmentalworkinggroup.org, you can find the article there. It was by Lynn Peoples. And it was a while back when she wrote it, so I'm giving her attribution. And she referenced a study where they looked at popular products purchased from grocery stores in the Dallas, Texas area. And the researchers in the study found that nearly half of the sampled peanut butter and cold cuts, as well as turkey, fish, beef, and other fatty foods, contain traces of flame retardant, which is used, in your home when they put the insulation in the building, in the walls of your structure, your home or a building. It's also found in furniture, sofas and whatnot. Yeah, Dr. Arnold Schechter commented in the article, he said, quote, "This is not good news." Well, that's an understatement. "Here's yet another toxic chemical that can be found in many of the foods we buy at our supermarkets." Close quote. Dr. Schechter keenly observes, quote, "Food does not need to have flame retardants," close quote. No kidding. Honestly, flame retardant.
Have you seen the powdered non-dairy creamer explode?
No, I haven't seen that. It's on YouTube, I suspect.
Yeah, I'll show you when we go to break.
Flame retardant has been found in women's breast milk. In the breast milk, mother's milk. Feeding infants. The food chain is contaminated. Yesterday I certainly was talking about brown rice, but there's a bigger issue here and a bigger picture to look at. 70, 80,000 different chemicals in the environment, dumped into the environment every day, probably by the metric ton. I could get the exact number. I wrote a whole series on this, entitled, part of the title was "We Live in a Toxic World." The particular flame retardant Dr. Schechter's team investigated, he was involved in the study, is the one I mentioned, hexabromocyclododecane. And it's the latest, he said, in a string of human-made chemicals found in foods that we eat, very popular foods. Now, there's an abundance of research. We have found DDT. We have found polychlorinated biphenyls, BCBs, mercury, dioxins, and other flame retardants in food. This is not a new story, but it does merit talking about. My guest today, Dr. Cass Ingram, he's dialed into these kind of things. I'll get him to comment on it. I know he's on tour, so we're excited for him. It's good that he's out there. He can rouse the emotions of an audience.
Hey, Doc, not to throw more flame on the fire, so to speak, but there was literally a story that dropped about an hour ago from USA Today about baby food formulas that were tested positive for arsenic, lead, and BPA.
Thank you. So you see, my producers are on it too. One of the goals of this show is to raise our consciousness about these issues. And then you say, well, what can you do about it? What can you do about it? Well, first you have to bring it to awareness. And then you have to see, well, what is being done about it? Now, be mindful. The chemical lobby is probably a bunch of satellite lobbies all put together, these big companies. And I know everybody wants to they call them Monsanto, and all these things. Those are easy targets. They are the usual suspects when it comes to these chemicals. And there's a lot of arm waving and twisting about concerning Roundup these days. But we live on this rock. We are the people that occupy it, and we have to have a voice. And so you need to contact your congressperson, whoever that may be, he or she. You need to read. You need to go to places like the Environmental Working Group, EWG.org. Listen to my show. Listen to other health talk shows where they talk about these things. I wanted to bring it to your attention. And, exposure to these chemicals can start in utero. What the mother eats, the fetus is going to consume. You want to... Now, there's a lobbying group called North American Flame Retardant Alliance of the American Chemistry Council. What did I just say? And they said in a statement, are you ready what they said? Quote, "These results should not pose a concern for human health." Close quote. Really? Since when peanuts do better with flame retardant? Since when? To make the crop grow better or what? What's going on? Oh, pesticides, you want to kill the bugs. Oh, is that what you're doing? Well, be careful not to kill humans. We'll be right back.
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day, giving you immune, energy, and stress support, and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce.
We have quite an array of experts that walk through the broadcast corridors of this show. Make no mistake about that. Over the past 12 years, we've been able to channel those scientists who have passed away to get them onto the show. We love it. Now, you know, we vet everybody, but everybody shows up with their own points of view, their biases, and skill set and talent. Some people are very smart, know a lot, But, they're like Novocaine. It's numbing. And then others who can really convey a message and tell a good narrative, entertain, empower, and educate and empower, doing all of that. It's hard to educate, empower, and entertain all at the same time. I work at it every day. It's challenging. My guest today, Dr. Cass Ingram, has that gene. He can do this. He's been doing it for decades. He'll get your attention. Dr. Ingram, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Great to have you on.
Yeah.
And how you doing with the arsenic these days?
Well, it's a little bit of arsenic and some mercury and, of course, a bit of lead soup on top of it. You know about Flint, Michigan, amongst others. It's a burden.
Have you ever heard of hexabromocyclododecane? My God, there's like 20 letters in that.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, it's a flame retardant.
Retardant is a carcinogen. It's quite poisonous. It's interesting that the chem boys are now scientific investigators, the lobbyists. Oh, we know the science. We'll just tell you. We'll tell you, what is it? What was it? Just do what we say. What was it the FDA through Kessler? Kessler said on national TV, I think it was CBS, said, just do what we tell you.
Yeah.
Don't question it.
Right. Yes.
No, I mean, this is a big... There was this study not that long ago about the 220 man-made chemicals found in cord blood as the baby is
umbilical cord, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is a tremendous burden.
How do you deal with... Listen, you're a very conscious living person. I mean, you're a conscious your lifestyle. You're conscious of it. You're a conscious food consumer and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, how do you protect yourself? What do you do?
What I do is a course of the total body purge and the wild raw dandelion muck every once in a while, just as a habitual course to... You see, what we're dealing with is a burden of toxic chemicals and heavy metals, you mentioned quite wisely, but there's quite a few petrochemical derivatives, BCPs and vinyl chlorides, and you mentioned them. But now, those are fat-soluble, you see?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if people don't know what to do, and so they just do something. They go on a cleanse and take some fiber, or they go on a juice cleanse. That just doesn't do the job.
So what were those two? You mentioned two different products there from North American Urban Spice. What were they?
The total body purge. A lot of people think, oh, if I take that, do I have to sit right next to the toilet at my cubicle? Come on. We're talking about removing poison from your body. That's a systematic, gradual, methodical effort that the body has to try to do. You're going to enhance that. So the toxins are fat-soluble. Heavy metals are fat-soluble. They're also soluble in the bone matrix.
Fat-soluble means that they stay in the tissue. They don't get...
adipose tissue, in the brain, within the liver parenchyma, and all these different places. And so that's what the body does. The body produces bile to conjugate the pesticide residues, the fat-soluble chemicals, to conjugate, meaning to bind, and then it uses glutathione S-transferase. So you have to understand how it works to help facilitate the removal of those chemicals. Now, so what I do, because I get the burden too, and I feel it, and so I go through a little course of this, I take the total, I'm going to pitch it. I take the total body purge.
Mm-hmm.
I take I oftentimes back it up with the dandelion extract and the black seed oil. What am I doing? If I'm taking dandelion, if I'm taking the total body purge and the black seed oil, I'm inducing bile formation, maybe tenfold greater than what I can normally induce. Now, I will also take... When I'm doing that cleanse, I'll sip on the juice of oregano, a bit of oil of oregano. I'll take the cannabis extract because all of them, maybe a bit of turmeric, all of them induce the glutathione production in the liver and in the kidneys.
How does glutathione... As a matter of fact, this came up last night at a seminar I attended on on this very issue, cleansing. And glutathione came up in the presentation. How is glutathione implicated with the bile, and what's going on here? What is it?
All right. The glutathione actually facilitates bile production. The glutathione also increases the activity and balances the activity of the P450 enzyme system. That's your detoxification mechanism. When you're exposed to these pesticide residues, to the Roundup, to the bisphenols, to the flame retardants, to the vinyl chlorides, whatever, those are fat soluble. They go into the liver, they go into the bloodstream, they go in whatever, and they poison the P450 system. It can't reboot. So your glutathione helps it. And also the glutathione prevents the oxidative damage that, as the body's trying to get rid of the bisphenols or the vinyl chlorides or what have you, there's oxidative damage going on.
We're going to head into some messages. Dr. Ingram didn't have a clue as to what I was going to ask him. He is so on the money. I mean, that answer was an encyclopedic answer. All right? Very credible. I mean, he's right on the button. Glutathione conjugation is the most, probably, some consider it the most important detoxification pathway for industrial toxins. He gets the trophy.
The perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering, you're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement, or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show and whatever you may be doing. My guest is Dr. Cass Ingram. Dr. Ingram is here. He's live. Dr. Ingram, you're on tour right now?
Yeah. I'm in, I'll tell you what the rest of my tour is. I'm in Pennsylvania, so I finished a lot of it, but I'm going to go to Hanover today, Hanover, Pennsylvania, where I'll be at Sunnywald Natural Foods, Sacred Heart Parish Center.
Oh.
So then I'm giving an evening lecture there from 7 to 10.
What's going to be your what will be the topic?
Reversing all inflammation, the Lyme disease cure, the cannabis cure, the cures in the cupboard, the fungus infestation, Lyme parasites as a cause of inflammation. I'll talk about the crude extracts. I've had a lot of success over the years with those unprocessed, wholesome extracts from different plants versus the more chemicalized supplements, which I just don't get the results with. And then I'll be giving a book signing the next day, which is Thursday, at the Sunnywald's Natural Foods. Never been there, in Spring Grove, Pennsylvania. So it's a couple of gigs.
Good.
And then I drive. I've been driving like 5 hours a day to different sites. This is primarily a Lyme disease
area
assessment tour. And I mean, you got to do a gig with your books and stuff. But I'm mainly here to investigate the Lyme. It's a disaster beyond it. But so then the next thing besides that is I'm probably going to go into Philadelphia and do a bit of training. Then I go to North Wales. And in North Wales, I'm at Holly Hill Health Foods on Saturday.
When you go to Holly Hills Health Store, well, that's up in Lansdale, Pennsylvania, near Philly. Please convey to them, send my deepest regards to them. Dr. Garko said hello. They're wonderful people. They're
the best.
They are good. They're wonderful.
I mean, they've got some employees that just pure care about people, and so if you're in that area of 1200 Welsh Road, Holly Hill Health Foods, the lecture starts at 11.
What day is that?
That's going to be on the 28th on Saturday.
Okay. Boy, you're busy, man. You're out. Good for you. You're out there. You're not sitting behind a desk.
Well, I've been investigating Lyme in Pittsburgh, and I wanted to get out a little closer to the New York border, and it's even a bigger disaster zone here. So that I have some data, I'll collate that, and I mean, it's just bad news. But they didn't know about anything. They didn't know about oil of oregano or any of these types of remedies. Now, if we go back a little bit to what you were saying, the Old Testament mentions the P450 system. It it says, look at this. Purge yourself. I mean, I'm not that expert. Purge yourself with the hyssop so that you will be clean. Now, who in the world? How could you ever think of something like that?
I know. Those kinds of things just knock me out. How would they have that kind of chemical insight?
You see, so you got to put one star on the creator's badges because, okay, if you want to clean out your liver, one of the biggest inducers of glutathione and glutathione S-transferase, the one that's involved with dumping the poisons, is oregano. One guy, this German dentist, he measured, your glutathione, and I had to have some dentistry, it's higher than anything, it's everywhere, it's so high, I wish I could have glutathione. I said, it's the oregano, dummy. I told him just like that. You know that. It's the oregano oil that's causing my glutathione to be so high.
Which is a good thing, right?
Oh, yeah. So it's an induction, and so is cumin and black seed. They're very aggressive inducers of the intracellular or native or nascent glutathione in your tissues.
Okay. We have a call, speaking of Philadelphia, we have Lenny in Philadelphia, right up in the area you're going to be, Dr. Ingram. Lenny, welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Great to have you on, Lenny.
Nice speaking to you. First, I'd like to ask you, Dr. Garko, how you feeling?
I feel pretty good, Lenny. We're doing well. We're in recovery and surveillance now. So it was 1 year on October the 19th when I was diagnosed a year ago. And so we're good, and I really appreciate you thinking of me and asking.
Let me ask you, are you done with the chemotherapy?
Yeah, I'm done with everything.
Yeah, he's just doing natural chemotherapy now.
Oh.
Exactly.
Dr. Gark, I want to wish you, and all your listeners want to wish you, many, many years of good health.
Thank you so much, Lenny. Thank you, man. Love you, Lenny.
We really appreciate you. You're a really dedicated person.
Thank you.
Isn't that wonderful?
Okay. And Dr. Ogram, I'd like to ask you one thing.
Yeah.
What is good for a bee sting internally and externally?
That would be the super strength P73, the oil of oregano P73. Obliterates the venom.
Do you take it? Do you ingest it, or do you apply it to
both? Both. I got, I was doing my little video on raw honey, and I got stung while I was doing the video, and so, it swelled up and stuff. I'm not allergic, but so I just kept rubbing that oregano oil under the tongue. 10 drops here and there, here and there. I kept rubbing, and it dissolves the venom, and then you don't have any more pain, and so that's the best way. You'll save lives. You'll stop anaphylactic shock. If a person's allergic to bee stings or peanuts or what have you, they have to have a bottle with them, and immediately take it under the tongue and do so repeatedly. That's all you need.
Oh, well, what would be good for external? Would that be good for
Same thing. Same thing. He's saying you ingest it under the tongue, and then apply it topically. Keep rubbing it into the sting.
The other one that's oddly very good because of the neurological anaphylactic shock is extract of cannabis. So those are the two most important things.
When you say P454, explain to the listener and the viewer what that is. Tell them.
Well, the P450 is in the liver. It's in the mitochondria. It's a system of enzymes like the Krebs cycle and different things to speedily and efficiently detoxify and then bind the poisonous petrochemical or whatever to the bile, and then they be dumped into the intestine and thrown out in the stool. That system's also in the kidneys for rapid detoxification or processing. Even there's some things natural that can be toxic, like aflatoxin. The Creator made it in we'd be all dead if we didn't have P450.
Well, look, Dr. Ogram, I want to thank you very much.
You're very welcome, my friend.
I really appreciate it. And Dr. Garko, I want you to stay well for many, many years.
Well, I do too.
Well, as long as he's sucking on that
look,
juice
we're all pulling for you. All your millions of fans.
Well, thank you so much, Lenny. You take care of yourself. Dr. Ingram will be at Holly Hills on Saturday, so you can get to see him in person. It's like Dunkin' Donuts says, it's worth the trip. Go see him. Thank you, Lenny. We're going to come back with Dr. Ingram. We have him for another segment, and he's going to tell you more. The cytochrome P450, if you're a chemist, you know exactly what that's all about. It does get a little complicated, but just listen to Dr. Ingram. He mentioned that one product, Total Body Purge. He's mentioning oil of oregano. He's mentioning all these different compounds and different products from North American Herb & Spice. We'll be right back.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids. Target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Cass Ingram is the guest today on Let's Talk Nutrition, coast to coast and globally. Dr. Ingram is on tour. He's up in the Pennsylvania area. He was up in Pittsburgh area, for example. And I was born and raised there. And he's up in that neck of the woods. He's very much interested in Lyme disease. I've known people to suffer from Lyme disease. It can destroy, and I mean that, the quality of life for a person and their health. And Dr. Ingham, welcome back.
Yeah.
A lot of confusion surrounding Lyme disease. What is it? How does it happen?
Lyme disease is caused by ticks primarily, although you can get it from blood transfusions and maybe flea bites, amongst others. But you can also get it through sexual transmission. It's a spirochete primarily, although when you get Lyme, you could have co-infections by parasites and viruses. But the spirochete is a corkscrew pathogen similar to syphilis. It's a biological agent of sorts that does evade the immune system, and then the tick injects this, right? The corkscrew pathogen burrows into the skin, can cause a bullseye rash, can cause skin diseases like lupus. It gets into the nerves very quick. It can cause Bell's palsy as a presenting symptom, or go into the brain and cause MS-like symptoms, and it's terrible symptoms when it gets into the brain. 40% fatal when it gets there. Goes into the heart, causing cardiac Lyme. Into the joints, causing Lyme arthritis. And I mean, there's no cure in the medical system, really. The antibiotics might work, might not. So I've developed a number of protocols that are very, very, very effective and have really booted it out of the system. It's not easy, because I had the Lyme about 5 years ago, right? And I booted it out, but anyway, yeah.
Well, how do you approach it from a herb and spice point of view?
You got to burn the spirochete into oblivion,
And what do you do? What did you do? What did you do?
Tons and tons and tons and tons of oil of oregano, and you want to burn out the candida too, which you have a burden still of that. So that's why we're working on you. And I mean, you're taking the oregano, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. So you got to burn out the fungus. You got to burn out the spirochetes, and that's the wild oil of oregano, not the aromatherapy stuff, but you got to get the edible, the P73, what have you. But you take that and you take 40 drops 3 times a day, 40 drops 5 times a day, 40 drops 10 times a day, whatever. Okay.
Wow.
You hit it and you hit it and you hit it. You have to take the multiple spice oil extract. It's known as Oregorest. I'm not trying to promote a cure for Lyme with some company products, but I'm just telling you what I talk about in my protocol, what I talk about in my lectures. So you take that material, it's a capsule, and you take 3, 4 or 5 times a day. You take the juice of oregano. I mean, those are some of the most essential ones, but it's so complicated. Sometimes you need 5 or 8 or 10 different herbs together, sometimes some cat's claw or whatever, and you just stay with it.
Have you written about this? Is it in a book anywhere?
It's in the book.
Which book?
It's in the book. It's also on the website, cassingham.com. They can go get the basic protocol and print it off there. It's in the videos. The other thing is you want to, look, it's in the brain. It's going to kill you. So I do a neuro detox now. That's not in the book, but that's in my cannabis cure book.
What's the title of the book where the Lyme part?
Okay, that's the Lyme disease cure.
Okay.
Then I recommend the cannabis cure as a 1-2 punch. Now what I'm doing that has accelerated the positivity is I'm adding this crude extract. Now I wouldn't, and that's to neurodetox these Lyme cases, and even in general neurological detox. But how am I going to get them better if I give them something that was made with hexane or isopropyl alcohol or acetone? I'm just adding to the solvent burden. So that's why I've had great success with the cannabis instead of CBD oil, which is solvent processed. I'm using the whole food form. Getting great results. Had a case of a guy with Lyme tremor for 30 years. What are you going to do with that? His brainstem's been eaten up. He can't walk without a shuffle, and he can't write in his name. Well, at least after taking the Hempenol Super Strength for 2-3 weeks, he's able to write a letter now. I mean, no, that's a big improvement in quality.
Absolutely.
I mean, 30 years. This is a neuro detox. I had a kid, might have been Lyme spirochete, who has epilepsy for 7 years. He's 7 years old. He has 7 years of epilepsy. 72 hours later, using just this, not even the oregano. This has got a little oregano in it, of course. There's no more seizures.
That's improvement.
Yeah. So when you use the cannabinoids, especially if they're oreganoized, when you use that kind of thing, you are actually causing the endocannabinoid system to go into a high rate of efficiency. That means that means that the brain can do the same thing. It can use its glutathione and SOD to pull out the heavy metals, to remove what it needs to remove, to process the drug residues, to also cleanse itself of, pathogens, herpes or Lyme spirochete. So when it's brain, we get the best results not just with oregano, but with cannabis combination.
And the North American Urban Spice, the name of the product from North American Urban Spice with the cannabis is called what?
Well, they produce hempenol.
Hempenol.
That's what I have been using in clients because it's the crude, supercritical extract of the cannabis plant versus solvent-treated CBD types, product. And here's my point of view. If I told you that dandelions are really good for you, and then we went out in the vacant lot, and we knew the vacant lot was there for 20 years, and nobody sprayed any pesticides, and we picked a bucket full of dandelions. We're thinking we're going to get vitamins, we're going to get minerals, we're going to get phytochemicals. If I then soaked it in the gasoline, burnt the gasoline off, and said, let's have this powder now and sprinkle it on our salad, would you eat it?
No.
Well, that's what we're doing when we're eating standardized and hexane-extracted supplements.
Okay. There you go. Dr. Ingram's book, The Lyme Disease Cure. There are many other books. You go on the internet. Just type in Cass.
If you want to know where I'm going to be, go on my Facebook or call 800-243-5242 for people in. And in Philly, I'll be doing something, I think, maybe at the Kimberton store. I don't know. We'll see.
Cass Ingram, INGRAM.com, www.cassingram.com. That's his website. Go there, pay a visit. You'll find his books. He's written quite a few. Give him a read. You'll see. He herbs and spices. That's what he uses. He's been doing this a long time, and he's had great success. Dr. Ingram, thank you so much for being on the show today. Thank you for sharing your insight, and good luck on your tour. They're lucky to have you. We'll see you. We'll be back at the top of the hour. So we will be at the Vitamin Discount Center then in Largo. We have a nice audience there. And it's West Bay Drive, as Gary said. As soon as we get off the air on Friday, I'll drive over to Largo. It'll take me some time to get there, but we'll be in time, God willing, noon to 2, and maybe thereafter.
I talked to Jason yesterday. He's so excited about being there. He's the manager.
Yeah, he's been there a long time. He's been with the company many years, Vitamin Discount Center. In case you don't know, there are a lot of health stores here in the Tampa Bay area. I think every major chain is found here. You got not only the chains, but a lot of mom and pop vitamin health stores, whatever you want to call them, supplement stores. They masquerade under different names. I call them health stores. And this area is so densely populated, so consumers have a lot of choices to make. Vitamin Discount Center is one of them. And we invite all health stores to call the show, let us know where you are. We'll help make the audience know where you are. We're very fond of health stores because you're the connection to the consumer. And, I know that the Internet's a big deal these days. I get it. People are shopping on the Internet. I understand. But oftentimes, more often than not, when you want to go to a health store to buy supplements, there's somebody there to talk with. A lot of these health stores have there's some that have PhDs working in them.
Yeah.
Okay? Highly trained people. I know the folks at Vitamin Discount Center are well trained. They're in seminars all the time, training seminars. In fact, my guest in this hour of the show, Dr. Jason Mitchell, has given quite a few of those. He knows that outfit pretty well as other chains. And again, we invite you to, if you're a health store owner, manager, whatever, employee, you can call the show. We'd love to know who you are, where you are, and we'll help promote you. So I'll be there this Friday, Largo, Vitamin Discount Center, West Bay Drive, and we look forward to 12 to 2. Be there or, be what they say, square, geometrically speaking. As I mentioned, my guest is Dr. Jason Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell has been a guest on Let's Talk Nutrition for a number of years. He now is on his own. He worked for a major supplement company for many years, and now he has his own company, Probulin, and they started with probiotics, and they're branching out. And for the past, when was that training that I attended with you, Gary?
2 months ago.
2 months ago. He gave a talk. They've started a cosmetic line, if you will, cosmeceutical line, whatever you want to call it. And I've been using the products every day. The face wash, the serum, then there's a day cream, then at night you do the face wash, the serum, and the night cream. And I've been every day religiously, almost every day, twice a day, sometimes only once a day if I'm too tired in the evening. I may not do it, but for sure in the morning, and most of the time twice a day. And, I like it. It seems to work with this mug. Dr. Mitchell, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. You're wonderful. What was the name of that Ricardo Montalban? What did he used to say?
You're marvelous.
You're marvelous. Dr. Mitchell, you're marvelous. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Garko. It's good to be back. And I'm glad to hear that you're using the product every day. It's kind of awesome to hear you, as a man, say that you're using these skin products, because so commonly thought is that, and it still is true, that, such a large percentage of individuals concerned about facial skin care and things of that nature, predominantly women are the audience. But I believe that men truly should seek out and seek these benefits as well, because they're amazing. So,
absolutely.
Thank you for saying that. I really, yeah.
No, absolutely. And when I tell you, listen, I have a lot of faults. Not being truthful is not one of them. And I'm telling you, I use it most of the time twice a day. I would say 80% of the time I'm using it twice a day and at least once a day. Very rare. I don't think, maybe one day I didn't do it either morning or night. The only thing I haven't been using is the eye cream because you had you took it off the market. Now I presume you put it back on.
Well, it just wasn't. It hadn't been released officially yet. And
Okay.
So we had a preliminary release, and then we're still waiting. That product will hit the market in about, I would suggest, about 30 days, 30 to 45 days, and it'll be on the market. So we're pretty excited about it coming. So,
No, so that's the only thing I haven't used is the eye cream.
Well, you know,
excellent.
I ride Dr. Mitchell, I ride a motorcycle and I'm wearing a helmet, and I have this tendency from my cheeks to get a little bit of acne.
Right.
I'm 43 years old and I get acne still. Okay, and I started using it, and I don't have the I mean,
it's gone.
You can tell.
Yeah. You look marvelous.
You know, it's funny. It's funny that you say that, and I know we're going to get into talking about the product, but I just love hearing true feedback because an honest feedback is really very important when it comes to products like this because there's so many what I would call empty promises when it comes to products that are marketed.
It wears you out. Wears you out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And marketing is really important. I understand that, but I would believe truth in marketing is so important as well. And so when people tell me what they feedback, just so you know, the technology that we're going to talk about that's built into these probiotic skincare products, we are in the, what I would say, investigative route right now, leading us to a formula that we will validate for the use of blemishes and acne. And we'll likely launch that sometime mid-next year. We're very excited about that potential because we know that this technology helps to bring, health and brightness back to the largest organ of your body, which is the skin. Mm-hmm. And we're gonna go beyond face care too. We're gonna go into different types of lotions and so forth.
Oh, great.
Addressing potential atopic conditions and such. But we're not going to do anything until we've scientifically validated that the application, or I should say, the promise, lives up to it.
Sure. So. And what I've been doing, since I don't have the eye cream, what I have been doing, I've been putting some of the serum, tap it. You don't, anything under your eye, you never rub. You only tap. Right. You only tap the product on. And then I've been putting either the day cream or the night cream, and I tap it underneath my eyes as well. And that's what I've been doing. So until the eye cream comes out. But I like the product. The skin feels different, looks different. I've always tried different things, and you can do things topically. You can, of course, a healthy diet, a healthy lifestyle contributes to the nice looking skin as well. But we're excited to talk about this health and beauty theme on the show. And what I wanted to explore with you today is you certainly started out as a probiotic company, and you still are. That's in your DNA, of course. And I want to hear from you, and the audience would probably become intrigued with your idea of how probiotics gets implicated and synthesized into this concept of a cosmeceutical, or for lack of a better way to say it, a healthcare skin product. What the probiotics, why would that be important? We'll see what Dr. Mitchell has to say about that. I heard him talk about it in a seminar he gave. You might find this rather interesting. So we're all here to learn. We like it, to educate, empower, to do what? To take charge of our health on the inside and on the outside. How you look, all right? We want to get to that. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition, looking marvelous, coast to coast.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
cosmetic industry is a multi-billion-dollar business annually, and is a world that's populated with celebrity, tons of marketing. It's implicated in fashion. It finds itself in so many different contexts, the whole idea of cosmetics. It's just remarkable how people get pulled to it. We do care about how we look, because how we look affects how we feel, and how we live our life, what we eat, how we eat, and so on. Our diet and our lifestyle has a big impact on our appearance, our hair, skin, and nails. And to some, that may sound like a superficial theme or issue, but it's not. It's part of wellness and well-being. Right? And Dr. Jason Mitchell is our guest today in this portion of the show. And Dr. Mitchell's company, Probulin, has developed a nice line of skincare products, and I've been using them for the last 2 months since I attended a seminar a couple of months ago. And the only thing I haven't used is the eye cream. That's because they put it on and they pulled it back again because they wanted to make sure, just in the formulation, he's so careful in particular. Dr. Mitchell, welcome back. So here's my question.
Thank you very much.
Here's my question. Sure. How is it, or why is it, that having probiotics in a skincare product is a difference that makes a difference?
It's a really great question. When you think about it, I mean, as human beings, as living beings on this planet, we're constantly in sort of a symbiotic relationship with bacteria, and it's just a fact. The bacteria live inside of us, so we know a lot about the bacteria that live inside of us because it helps us with aiding in digestion, aiding in immune support, aiding in all of these wonderful things that we have identified, that these living organisms that reside inside of us that keep us healthy. But when looking at the skin, also living organisms live all over your skin, and they live on your body as well as in your body, and when they live on your body, they're there defending against pathogenic organisms and all kinds of other things. The primary focus or the primary goal of using a probiotic topical or a probiotic skincare product, such as Probulin's probiotic skin therapy, is to improve immunocompetence. And I know that seems like, kind of a, what does that word really mean? Well, to be honest, there's a lot of different elements that are involved here. When exploring immunocompetence, things like, can the skin properly defend itself, as far as from that outward exposure to the damage that we constantly experience, things like sun damage and topical chemicals that we're constantly doing, our diet and lifestyle, and all different challenges that happen. The lack of maintaining healthy moisturizing factors in the skin, by all these different outside influences, can wreak havoc on how well the skin maintains its health status over time. And, most of the time, people are focused on skincare as it relates to vanity. And I totally get that, because we all want to look good. We all want to look younger, longer, and it's just kind of I guess you could say, more of a status thing that someone says, wow, you look great. Everybody wants those compliments. But the most important thing to consider is that if your skin is extremely healthy, not only will it look brighter and nicer and better and potentially even have some youthful looks even in our advanced years, but what it's going to do is protect and maintain good health overall. And so, when we embarked on putting this product together, it was important that there was reasonable science behind it as well. But to answer your question very specifically, living organisms don't just live in us, they live on us as well. And the reason why they live on us is because they're involved intricately in helping to maintain this concept of immunocompetence, meaning that your skin can competently protect and maintain its health status.
Mm-hmm. I was reading an article, science-based article, and they were talking about probiotics ingested. Your regular probiotic line that you have, fabulous probiotics that you have. And they were talking about how the probiotics, when ingested, help improve or address skincare issues. They talked about rosacea, and acne, and so on. That's just from ingesting the probiotics. So there's some science to support your idea, your theory, and point of view.
Right.
Would someone notice, beyond maybe helping to clear up the rosacea or the acne, do the probiotics improve the texture of the skin, or does it help with moisturizing? Does it get involved in that element?
Absolutely. You know what's interesting is that it's texture, it's moisturization, it's the brightness and the effect of the outward appearance of the skin is that what we have at this point validated to the strongest level. You know, there are 3 scientific studies that have been done, 4. 2 are actually in vitro and 2 are human. You start off with the in vitro studies to give you an indication of whether or not you're on the right path. And then you move to the human studies to verify, is the right path still correct when applied to a human? So it's the right scientific process to go through to validate whether this really works. And what they found was a couple of really interesting things. The first study that they did in a human platform was that at a very low percentage of this probiotic technology that we call ProbuSkin, that we use in all of our Probulin skin therapy products, our serum, day and night cream, and cleanser, and soon to be out on the market, the eye cream. This ProbuSkin technology, when applied to the skin, they found that at a low percentage, as little as 1% concentration, they were able to see that naturally an increase in what they call antimicrobial peptides. These are basically defense mechanisms of the skin. Now, not to get super technical, but the 2 that I can share with you really interesting data.
Well, hold your thought. We come back, we'll develop this even more. Let's talk nutrition, coast to coast and globally.
Almost 52% of men experience erectile dysfunction and benign prostatic hyperplasia. If you've had challenges with virility, sexual health, or low energy, Body Vigor's Alpha Extension may be the answer for you. Body Vigor's Alpha Extension can help revitalize your alpha male and extend your love. Our formula is one of the highest quality nutraceuticals available, formulated to support the processes involved in promoting a healthy male sex drive, energy, and stamina. Alpha Extension has 2 powerful herbal blends, Virilomax, which focuses on male sexual health, and T-Pump Activator, which helps balance your testosterone levels. Revitalize your alpha male with Body Vigor's Alpha Extension, exclusively available on Amazon.com.
radiant skin and luxuriant hair are often associated with good health. And, of course, hair, skin, and nails together, the cosmetic industry has devoted more than a few dollars to developing products for hair, skin, and nails. Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Turns out that there is science. I'm on PubMed as we speak, and I typed in skin and probiotics. I got over 450 hits, studies in one form or another. One study was a review piece entitled Probiotic Bacteria Induce a Glow of Health. Now, in the review, they were talking a lot about experimental studies with mice and whatnot. But there are some human data too. The point is that probiotics, when ingested and applied topically, do make a contribution or otherwise improve or create this glow of health with your skin, and affects the quality and the health of the hair. So there's a science to support Dr. Pardon me, I'm choking on myself. Dr. Mitchell's contention that his line of supplements, the Probulin skin therapy products, have that kind of effect. Dr. Mitchell, welcome back. So there is more science than I thought to support this whole approach that you've taken.
Absolutely. You know, what I was beginning to share with you before is that it's not, you know what bothers me most is that when I see products that are on the market and their sole focus is to focus on anti-aging and wrinkles, which I do understand. There's this vanity play that everybody wants to try to look younger longer. And you know, it's funny when you look at the lengths people will go to, the money that they will spend to turn back this time. And, you know, a couple of things that I'll point out. People will go through these very invasive acid peels where they will apply various levels of glycolic acids and other acids where it literally burns layers of the skin off, just so that you can get to that more younger, more youthful skin from underneath. And, you know, I guess it shouldn't surprise me, but it does. But when in the development of this, I was thinking, man, if there was a more natural way, if there was a way to do this in a healthier fashion, but still gave people some really amazing results. And for 2 years, we spent developing these formulas. We ended up where we believe we are in a place where we can give you not only great results, but not, I guess you could say, participate in damaging the skin to get it to look younger or to healthier or brighter. Instead, promote your body's own natural processes in a way that it would love to have promoted so that we can achieve the same goals. And to be honest, in very much the same time. You know, I was starting to tell you about this before the break, was that one of the coolest findings that I found was that when this ProbiSkin technology was applied to the skin, they saw a marked increase in antimicrobial peptides. Now, that sounds all technical. What it just simply means is that the body's skin responds directly to the appearance of this ProbiSkin technology. In its response, it helps to increase the way it protects itself. There are certain antimicrobial peptides, or protein structures or whatever, called beta-defensin 1 and LL37, and we saw an increase of 150 to 190% in these antimicrobial peptides. This is the research that's actually leading us to additional research on acne and other types of blemishes and other types of elements that will help with defense of the skin and help the skin to repair itself and heal. But you know, there's another human study that I'll share with you that I think most people are going to want to hear about. You know, I love the stuff that makes the skin healthier. But you know, when it comes to looking newer or looking fit, brighter and more moisturized and the better texture and it feel better, look better, might even help with some of those fine lines and wrinkles and things, although that's not the assertion we make here, because I think sometimes wrinkles are going to happen no matter what you do, but how we look and appear from a moisturized and texturized fashion, if the skin looks brighter, it looks newer and younger anyway. The human study that compelled me the most to really initiate all this research was one that was shown that when applying the skin, when applied to human subjects, right, this is a human study, at a percentage as low as 3%, this ProbiSkin technology was able to promote skin renewal. And what that simply means is there's a natural process whereby your skin cells shed normally on a regular basis. And then as they shed, newer skin emerges from beneath. And what this process is called is desquamation. And when this process is happening efficiently, naturally, in a healthy fashion, you always have this really healthy, bright, beautiful skin. And what they were showing is that it helps to promote this skin renewal process to happen exponentially faster than if left to its own devices. And so because we have so much damage happening on a regular basis, sun damage and all these other things that are occurring, anytime you can promote a healthy, more natural way to improve skin renewal, you're going to have better, healthier skin. And then other research showed that it helped to protect the lipid barrier, which seals in the moisture. The collective of all this research yields an end result of a natural way to promote healthier skin. And that's something that we're really proud about because, I don't believe you should have to damage the skin. I don't believe that you should have to inject things in the skin or apply acids to the skin or mechanically alter the skin to achieve some of this natural beauty.
Sure.
I think, one, we need to, as a society, approach beauty in a way that's more acceptable in the sense that there's a number of different versions of beauty out there. But also, at the same time, the elements of brighter, healthier skin can promote beauty too.
Sure.
And that's what we're trying to do, and do it naturally. And without putting chemicals like parabens and sulfates and phthalates, and we don't do any of that. We don't use any synthetic fragrances either. We only use 100% organic essential oils. Pretty important.
Now, there is a body of evidence, then, the long and the short of it, for the listener and the viewer, the scientific evidence that demonstrates the beneficial effects of probiotics on the skin. And this literature is growing, and we have insights now using animal models and human clinical trials, as you hear Dr. Mitchell talk about, in slowing the skin manifestations, if you will, of intrinsic and extrinsic aging. This is, one does not have to even be hyperbolic about it or hype it. The science is there, and it speaks rhetorically. It helps create a narrative that is very compelling, at least in my mind. So if you're interested in how you look, because it affects how you feel, this is something you need to consider. I know that most people are conditioned to think about probiotics associated with your gut. But the studies also showed that taking probiotics contributes to better looking skin and hair as well. What we're talking about here is a topical application from a company that makes probiotics, Probulin. So we have a probiotic skin care product line. You have a serum, eye cream, a wash, and then you have day cream and night cream. It's a whole system. We'll get Dr. Mitchell to explain when we come back. We'll have the LTN Health question.
The latest trend to hit the store shelves has the whole country buzzing. Cannabidiol or...
Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Bodyfigures Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Bodyfigures Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Bodyfigures Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
here's the LTN health question of the day. It's associated with some breaking news. Which of the following just passed away? This came over the wire. Was it A, Chuck Berry, B, Fats Domino, C, Little Richard, or D, B.B. King? Who just passed away? Chuck Berry, Fats Domino, Little Richard, B.B. King. You have the right answer, you win a $25 supplement gift card. You say, well, it's a health talk show. Why do you have such a question? Well, isn't death about life and health? Right?
Good music.
And music, which is therapeutic. You get the right answer, you win a $25 supplement gift card. Here's the number to call.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255.
So who just passed away? Was it Chuck Berry, Fats Domino, Little Richard, B.B. King? Ain't that a shame? Ain't that a shame? There's a clue. Dr. Mitchell, he was probably before your time, but that's okay. You're a young man. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
The wonderful Probulin skin therapy line that you put together as a system.
Yes.
Maybe you could lay out how it works, and it's so easy. I do it nearly twice a day, every day. I've missed a couple of times, only once a day, but most of the time twice a day, morning and night. Could you explain each part of the system and what to do?
Absolutely. We designed the line to be modular too, so that if someone had, let's say, a cleanser that they love and they really don't want to move from their cleanser because they really love that, and maybe they have a day cream they like but not a night cream, or they have a serum or whatever, the reality is that you can use just one of the products, but the products were definitely intended to be used together. And so if you were to use the products together, not only is it affordable, it's not incredibly expensive, it's actually very affordable given the number of servings that you get in a container. I mean, one set could last as long as 2 months if used exactly as recommended.
Yeah, I'm almost out.
And so, yeah, and you're at about 2 months, and then it makes a lot of sense because that's about the time frame when you use it correctly. So if we were to start with the cleanser, see, in the morning when we wake up and before we go to bed, it's really important to clean off our face because, to be honest, we get a little bit of dirt and grime and things and exposure that we have throughout the day, and for the largest population of individuals that will be inspired to use products like this, it's going to be women. The way that we looked at it is categorically about 95% of the market that would be interested in products like this would in fact be women. I hope that number grows for men as well because they have skin just like women do. In fact, there's different types of challenges for men's skin. But beyond that, we know that cleansing is important because when they use makeup removers and other things of that nature, other things that women put on, there's a lot of things that happen, especially to the face. And so as a result, the cleanser is a really important thing. Now, the cleanser is not a makeup remover. Some people think that a cleanser should do this. To be honest, most makeup is actually going to be waterproof. And when you use a soap's really about just cleaning off dirt and grime and so forth.
Well, I noticed when I used a cleanser, and I keep one bottle in the shower, and I wish I had two. I would leave one in the shower and one on the counter. I noticed your skin it has a nice feel to it. It doesn't feel like it's been dried out. It still feels moisturized, if you know what I mean. It doesn't feel like you've been sandblasted, if you know what I mean. That feeling, that dry feeling.
Absolutely. That is one of the most key characteristics of the cleanser, was that we want it to clean the face, but not strip away the valuable oils and moisturizing factors that would be native to the skin. We want to make sure we preserve that to the best of our ability.
And what does the serum do? I'm almost out of time. That's why I'm pushing a little bit.
No problem. The cleanser is just 1 or 2 dots. Clean the face. Then you go to the serum. The serum is in a base of aloe vera, certified organic aloe vera, and it spreads completely amongst the face. And that serum is the concentrated therapeutic levels of all the wonderful ingredients. And then after the serum soaks in about 60 to 90 seconds, apply the day cream in the morning. And that takes about 90 seconds to soak in, and you will feel that your skin is amazingly soft. It doesn't feel tacky or I should say oily or greasy.
Right.
Like creams like
True.
This. Very light. The night cream, you would then at nighttime use the cleanser again, use the serum, and then apply the night cream. And when the eye cream is available, you can use the eye cream morning and night before you apply the day or night cream. And it's simply just a good system to help keep moisturizing
and it doesn't take
during the day.
It doesn't take very long. A few minutes and you're done. Let's go to Tuscaloosa real quickly. Edward, who just passed away. We came over the wire. I saw it, and I was saddened by it. I grew up with this guy, listening to his music. Was it Chuck Berry, Fats Domino, Little Richard, or B.B. King?
I said Fat Domino.
It was. Ain't that a shame?
Ain't that a shame?
Ain't that a shame? When I was a kid, I would listen to that. He was born in 1928, by the way. He was 89 years old. I really enjoyed him. He was a nice man. Came across. You grew up with him too, didn't you?
I grew up listening to him because I was born in 1947.
All right, so you definitely know who Fats Domino is.
Fats Domino. I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill.
There you go, brother. That's great. I'm so glad you called and got the right answer to the $25 supplement gift question, if you will. We're delighted that you did that, and we're so happy that you're a listener to the show in Tuscaloosa, Edward. And go ahead.
I listen to you every day, man. And Earl Green, I sponsor things for Earl too. I'm a former Mr. Alabama bodybuilder.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. And Earl been want me to meet you now, so I'm gonna call in today. And when you said that, I'm gonna call today.
Well, thank you, Edward. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. And I'm so happy you won. We value your listenership. Spread the word in your neck of the woods. Tell them about the show. We appreciate it, Edward. I hope I get a chance to talk to you again.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Take care of yourself. Dr. Mitchell, I hope I get a chance to talk to you again, too.
Of course. I look forward to the next time, Dr. Garker.
Yeah, you doing okay, pal? You taking care of yourself?
Everything's great, man. I'm very blessed. I feel energized every day, and I love what I do. So I can't complain, and nobody'd listen anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm doing great. I'm doing fine. It sounds like you're enjoying what you're doing, and we like that. Probulin, yeah? Pay a visit to their website, probulin.com. And this new line is the skin therapy products they have. I've been using them for 2 months religiously, almost nearly every day, twice a day. And I can tell the difference. If you watch the show, maybe you can tell the difference too. We have nothing to hide. Here I am. Coast to coast and globally. We love you. Your health is your wealth, and your health is the wealth of those that care about and love you.